Oh yeah. Woohoo! Are you pumped, brother?
Man, I'm so pumped, man.
So
I was
good.
just back squatting
Oh.
for you.
That's how we do it. We got to get pumped up, get the intro going. What is going on? We got up in here in the movie dojo, hanging out with Fat Samurai Guy, the one and only. That's right, actor, martial artist, stuntman, fitness trainer, and part-time Sith Lord. That's right, Bruce Willow. How are you doing, brother?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't even have a beard back then. That was like when I was 21 years old. It was like, you were going to be Lord Sith. And I was like, really? Okay. But that was actually my first introduction to stunting because we had a real fight coordinator coming from France. I had no idea what that was.
Yeah,
I just loved the movies like you do, like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee,
yeah.
Yuen Biao, whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, I have a fight coordinator coming from France to help me fight with PVC pipes, who are going to be turned into lasers with post production. That was great.
Nice, nice. You got Jake Hall here saying hello, everyone. What's going
What's
on,
up,
Jake?
Jake?
Thanks for tuning in. Oh man, but it's an honor to have you here, my friend. I came across your Instagram channel, and that was it. As soon as I landed there, I was just like, follow. Went to the YouTube channel, subscribe that same day because I couldn't stop crying because I was laughing too hard. I was like, this guy, he's so entertaining, hilarious, insightful, and a badass martial artist himself, I might add.
Oh,
But
thank you so
it's
much,
just
buddy.
so entertaining, your videos, man. Like so entertaining. I keep coming back. I was like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm watching the goddamn Bruce Willow video. All right. It's gonna cheer me up. I'm gonna laugh because he likes what I like. He's one of my peeps. I was looking at the Instagram videos. I'm like, oh yes, he's one of us. That's
Oh yeah,
right.
I
That's
am. I
right.
am.
So again, thanks again for hanging out with us today. Oh shit. Man, we got a martial artist stuntman, Javon Wallace showing up. What's going on, brother?
What's up,
Oh,
Javon?
all right. What's going on, man? Good to see him. That guy's another badass. We got a Planet Games showing up and Kevin
Marlon.
Lambert. Everybody's saying hello to Mr. Bruce himself. So let's just jump
What's up,
right into
guys?
it, man.
For
Man,
sure. Let's go.
how young were you when you first started training in martial arts?
Younger than that, actually. I have no idea how old I was in that picture, but if I was already doing the splits, that means I was probably like 2 or 3 years already into the martial arts. But I was 9 years old when I saw Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. The movie
Okay.
with obviously with
Jason
Jason
Scott Lee.
Scott Lee.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Fun flick.
I guess I went to the movies with my grandmother, and I guess we ran out of cartoons to watch or something. So we saw like this Asian guy doing a sidekick with the sun behind him in the poster, and we were like, maybe that one. I guess my grandmother was probably okay. And I actually remember that I thought nothing of it previously. Before watching, I was like, okay, let's go. But
Yeah.
then I was so hooked. I remember coming home and I grabbed like uh, sketch papers and I started writing the story of Bruce Lee from my recollection. So I remember I watched it a few years later and I read it and I was like, it's totally wrong. I didn't even get the movie. I just got the kicks and the punches.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
because of that I nagged my mother into enrolling me in martial arts classes, specifically kung fu classes. And what do you know? In my hometown, they had kung fu classes. It was like a miracle.
Wow. Check that
Yeah.
out. That's pretty amazing. So technically Dragon the Bruce Lee story was your first martial arts movie.
I think I might have seen. That's actually a question that sometimes kind of puzzles me because I think I might have seen tidbits of Enter the Dragon before that one,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I was a kid, so I'm since probably some of you guys might not know this. I'm from Portugal. We're a pretty small country where martial arts are not that, I should say, developed, even though we have great martial artists, but we
Right.
don't have a lot of schools. And that's why I was saying that it was a miracle to have it back home in my hometown. And
Yeah.
so I was very much invested in soccer, you know.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
so I probably saw tidbits of Enter the Dragon and was like, okay, cool, they're punching each other. But when
Yeah.
I saw Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, no, that changed my life
Okay. All
forever
right. All
till
right. All
now.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that film in the theater with my dad, and that's a good dad memory. You know,
Yeah.
we enjoyed that film. It's a very entertaining movie, man. That's pretty cool. That's what kick started the badassity. That's right. That's right.
Without a doubt. Without a
You
doubt.
got Ty Lord here saying, Bruce, love your videos and interviews. There you go.
Thank you
Definitely
so
some
much, Lord
showing some
Ty.
showing some love here. You got Kevin here. Bruce, you're jacked as fuck and badass as fuck. And respect all you do for the action genre. There you go.
Thank you
Hey,
so much, buddy. Man, these guys are so nice, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys are too nice, too nice.
Hey, too
Even with the
nice.
fuck, you're too nice. Even with that F word.
Well, what's going on, Woo Bear? He's saying hello as well. All right. Thanks again
So
for hanging out with us today. I usually stream later, so it's cool to have everybody showing up now. So it's awesome. So yeah, back to it, man. Martial arts. I love this pic right here.
oh
Now,
man.
was this in Japan?
No. That was
Where is
Hong
this?
Kong. That was Hong
Oh,
Kong.
okay. Because I thought Japan had a similar statue. I thought they had the statue first. Maybe it's a different statue.
Oh, I have no idea. I've never been to Japan actually, but when I went to Hong Kong, I believe now the statue is in some other place because they kept moving it because of some construction nearby. So I've seen a couple of pictures of that statue somewhere else near the
Okay.
river, but
Okay.
then I took it over there. But now I think it's in some other place. So
Okay.
they keep
Okay.
moving it for some reason. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
Hong Kong was
that statue's great. How was it? How long were you out there for? Were you just visiting?
oh yeah, it was like 4 years ago or something.
Oh,
And
okay.
that trip really tested me because me and my girlfriend went to Singapore, then Indonesia, and then Hong Kong would be the highlight for me. I was like, I'm gonna meet Bruce Lee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we were in a massage parlor, not regular massage. Come on, Fat Samurai. We were in a massage parlor. Me and my girlfriend, we were sitting, lying down next to each other, but with a separation in between.
Yeah.
And I remember the Indonesian girl was like, I'm going to give you a foot rub and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, everything starts shaking, but shaking like, bah, 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 bah. It was as if AKs, somebody with AKs got into the room. It was like, bah, 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 bah. Everything started crumbling down. She took off. She said, fuck this guy, took off. Everybody took off, and I was like in my boxer shorts, going
Yeah.
like, "What the hell is going on?" Oh, it's an earthquake! So I got to the street. It was evening already, so it was one of the even though I'm a stuntman, it was one of the scariest experiences of my life because I was in an actual 7.3 or 7.4 earthquake that killed like 400 people, and
Holy shit.
we were very near the what do you call it, the epicenter
Yeah.
of the earthquake. So it was like a horrible experience. We ran on top of the mountain because people from our hotel were saying,
Holy
"Tsunami
shit.
alert! Tsunami! Go to the
Yeah.
hideout for the
Yeah.
tsunami." So it was like one of the worst evenings ever. Always shaking, always having like panic attacks, thinking this is probably it. I'm probably gonna die. Nobody's gonna care. And when you see the locals, who are usually more composed because they're used to this stuff, when you see the locals crying and calling each other on the phones, you
Oh
see like,
man.
no, this is real shit. So we were very scared with that experience.
Man.
So it's like Bruce Lee from above was testing me. How bad do you want to go to Hong Kong, Bruce?
And that's pretty good act. That's
Right?
pretty good impression right there. I
Do you
like
really want
that.
to go to Hong Kong, Bruce, and
I
meet
like
me?
that.
So
Oh, I
because
love
my first thing was like, I'm gonna go back to Portugal right fucking now. But then we talked to each other and we was like, no. We're being too hasty. Let's Let's go meet Bruce Lee. Let's go meet your God. And it was just an amazing trip.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm going to blow you up for a second here. I'm so glad everything. You didn't get hurt. But I'm loving the podcast's background, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I got to blow you up there because I see some Bruce in the back, some pumping iron. That's right. That's right. Some Chuck Norris. That's right. I had to blow it up so everybody can see
Yeah,
in the
sure.
background there all the cool stuff for sure, man.
We got Marshmallow Man from the Ghostbusters. What else? I got a lot of stuff, man.
Marshmallow. Wait, hold on. Let me blow it back up. Marshmallow. Where's he at?
Oh,
right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next to actual Bill Murray. Yeah. Let me put this guy here. Yeah.
Nice. Represent.
With me.
Hanging
Represent.
Out. Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. I love these movies.
It's a classic. Yeah. It's a classic. Yeah. Speaking of Bruce, are these legit Game of Death nunchucks here?
No, they're like actually those I bought in Hong Kong, but I have another pair from AliExpress.
Oh, okay, all right. They're like they're kind of like replicas.
Yeah. If anyone asks, they were in the set of Game of Death, and they're signed by by the wardrobe lady.
There you go, chat. It's confirmed. Right here. These are the real nunchucks.
No, I wish. I don't have that kind of money, man. And I'm not crazy like you guys. Sometimes, what's the most you've spent on an item? Nobody's listening.
Oh, man. Probably. Well, I've never had to put anything on layaway before in my life. That's how expensive this was. Monthly payments before I could pick up the item. But it's an actual replica of Conan the Barbarian's sword. Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from the first movie. Like they had the weight, everything. So that is probably the most expensive thing I paid for. But it's fun. Unfortunately, he's hanging up over here collecting dust.
I'm glad. I'm glad I have a studio because that way I can, transport my feelings of doing all this retro man cave thing here. Otherwise, my girlfriend would be like, no, not at home. Whenever I buy something, she's like, that's going right to the studio. Okay. I'm glad I have a studio then.
Nice. Hey, as long as you can put your swag somewhere, man. I lucked out with Lady Fat Blood, my missus. She's just like me. So it's collectors, everywhere, like collections and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So the whole house is a museum. Yeah, man, let's keep it rocking and rolling. I'm having a blast that you're here hanging out. Let's talk about this, man. It's pretty cool. You got it on the cover of a magazine here. What happened here? What's going on here?
That was actually a cool photo shoot. It took a while to get that picture though, because whenever you get that full split stance, which is probably not perfect, but I mean, whatever. And the leg looks okay, but then it's like you have some hair on your face. It's like, oh man, it's actually one thing. I don't like taking pictures as much as I do doing videos.
Gotcha.
Videos are like you can always save the motion with some sort of trick, but in a picture, it's like no, that frame stays forever. You can't really escape. But that was for a Portuguese magazine. It's a Portuguese and Spanish magazine, but it's the Portuguese version called Sport Life, like you guys saw. And it's like a fitness magazine. Because it's been 10 years. It's going to be 10 years this October that I have the Portuguese YouTube channel, which actually kind of blew up. And I do have a lot of followers because in Portugal, we speak obviously Portuguese, and in Brazil, they also speak Portuguese. So I have I have a big fan base, not only in Portugal, but in Brazil as well. So I have this Portuguese YouTube channel called Dicas do Salgueiro, which means Willow's Tips, mostly on fitness because I'm a personal trainer. I started as a stuntman, but I'm a personal trainer as well. So that's why they invited me to be on the cover of actually a couple magazines already.
That's nice, man. Congrats for that. And congrats to your
thank you so much
over 400,000 subscriber channel.
Yeah, it's actually a little less. It's like 380 something, but who's counting?
Soon to be 400.
Yeah.
So yeah, since we're talking fitness here, are you still recently got anything coming up in terms of teaching seminars?
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the things that actually COVID and the quarantine actually helped with in a rough way, but obviously it was good that I got to be a little bit more high techy, which means that I was face to face personal trainer, and I already had my YouTube channel, obviously, and even the English channel, Bruce Willow, I already had it. So
Yeah.
I kept on being creative and doing stuff. But it's funny how things happen for a reason, because a lot of the times, as an influencer, which I kind of am here in Portugal, I work with a lot of brands. And but one of the things that actually marketing gurus let you know from the get go is that you shouldn't be a slave to the brands. You should always have your own products. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a fitness band. I'm not going to be one of those guys like creating rubber bands and stuff nobody wants to buy, but
Right.
they're just going to buy because they like me. I'm going to create t-shirts, but I never thought of online products. And
Okay.
one thing that occurred to me while I was in the first lockdown, I started doing my home workouts, and I was like on Instagram. I let everybody know that I was gonna work out, for example, at 6:30 p.m. And I was gonna be like, "This is gonna be my workout. I'm gonna do it live. If you guys want to do it at the same time as me, and if you have any questions, let's do it together. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna do it my way.
There
So
you
it's
go.
my way or the highway."
That's right.
So I became like this sort of Gordon Ramsay of fitness, where I'm actually insulting people while I'm
Okay.
while I'm working out. So it's like somebody says, "Should I drink water?" And I'm like, "Oh, genius! Of course you should drink water. Get the fuck out! I don't want you here." And I would cut people off if they were asking stupid questions during the workout, like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. 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 It
And
sounds
maybe it
very
sounds,
sounds entertaining.
yeah, it sounds great to be to be cursed at from by Salgueiro, by Willow. But people were enjoying it because it was like, okay, this guy's refreshing. It's fun. It's not just one of those guys that 3 sets of 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was more like, okay, let's go. And I was sweating. I was cursing myself and others while I was doing it, because a lot of the times you don't feel like it. You don't have the motivation. You just have the discipline to work out.
Yeah.
So it went very well. I started doing those live events, those live workouts on YouTube as well. And we did like 80, around 80 live events, live workouts.
Wow. Look at that.
All of a sudden, lockdown is over. I go back to the gym, and I'm like, guys, I have to go back to the gym. I know you enjoy this. I had already like 5,000 people following me every day and doing the workouts. And I was
Wow.
like, okay, if you want to keep doing this, because they were
Hmm.
like, no, please keep doing this. I mean, I'm in the best shape of my life because of you. Thank you so much. I was like, if you want to keep doing this, I got to create a website where you pay me a monthly fee and you work out with me like, let's say 3 times a week. And
Okay.
that's what we did. We paid this IT team. They created a website. So for something around 30 euros a month, people can
Hmm.
train with me 3 times a week, usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So to answer your question, that's basically what I'm doing right now, and that's my main source of income, because so many people enrolled that we actually got a little bit more money from that than from the brands that we used to work with, like supplement
Oh.
brands and stuff like
All right.
that,
Yeah.
exercise equipment brands. So it was like, wow, those marketing gurus were right. When you create your own products, you don't have to be a slave to any brands. And that's the best thing that I can tell anybody, is that if you have a good idea, if you can make ends meet, I mean, invest in yourself, because that's going to be, even something like a quarantine, even something like COVID can actually be a good turnout for people like
Yeah.
me.
Well, they
Yeah.
always say it takes money to make money.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
can throw that in there too.
Yeah. I'm
But that's
glad we were
awesome, man.
in a place where we could invest a few
Right.
euros in that. Yeah.
There you go. Nice. But yeah, I've come across a couple of your YouTube exercise videos, and they're very entertaining, especially this one right here.
I
Very, very entertaining, man. I
love
love this
Richard
stuff.
Norton.
Oh man, he is the legend, and we're gonna get to him in a second here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, congrats on the growth of your channel, and you know it's gonna get even bigger, man. It's gonna get even bigger. That's right. That's right. Oh, quick question, since we were
Yeah.
talking about the diet and the fitness stuff.
Yeah,
As you can
sure.
see, I have my water. I have my water.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed
Um,
that.
so I recently have had a breakthrough. Throughout my
Hmm.
entire life, I've always been up and down, up and down. Lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And I've had a breakthrough recently, and it's all mental. And the breakthrough is that I just came up with is now everyone has their own way, and I'm sure it helps them, right?
Hmm.
But just be active. I just I just made it simple in my mind. Just every day, be active. Go for a walk, right? Lift some dumbbell curls, go for a walk. Eat normal, right? Eat healthy, drink water, have fun on Saturdays. And I just the pressure of you got to do this, you got to do calorie count, you got to get rid of the carbs, you got to do P90X mixed with the Bowflex, and then we got the total gym, and you know what I mean? Like that's why people freak out and they don't stick with a workout and they just give up. Is because they don't simplify it and make it easy. You know what I mean? Is like start small, go for a walk. That's it.
100%. And let me tell you this. I mean, most people have a notion that if you don't go to the gym, you're not doing anything. But if you think about it, going to the gym is like 45 minutes to an hour and 15, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's say an hour. What about the other 23? I mean, if you want to, if somebody wants to lose weight, for example, you should consume less calories than the ones you're taking in. Obviously, you should spend more calories than the ones you're taking in. Which means that if you don't have an active life overall, if you're not active
Hmm.
throughout your day, like
Yeah.
taking small walks, if you're sitting at the computer the whole day and you only go to the gym for like 60 minutes, let's say you burn anywhere from 400 to 600 calories on those 60 minutes, it's not it's probably not going to be enough if you indulge a little bit in the food.
Right.
So yes, be active. And a lot of people have discovered that it's actually better to keep having low periods or small periods of active stuff during the day than an actual. For example, if you go to a walk, if you go for a walk instead of going for an hour and a half of a walk,
Yeah. Yeah.
divide it into pieces throughout your day. For
I
example,
like that. I like that.
one of the best things that you can do, and once you account for it, it's going to be like 30 or 40 minutes cardio every day, is after each meal 10-minute walk. And you
Okay.
might be at home doing circles, or you might go outside a little bit and catch some sun, or you might even be doing a conference call or calling your girlfriend, whatever, or calling a colleague, and just going about for like 10 minutes. If you do that after each meal, if you do 3 or 4 meals a day, you're going to have 40-minute cardio, extra cardio. Think about that. Instead of just going for 1 hour, that you have to, make time for that 1 hour. So
Yeah.
it's much. You're exactly right. Just it's simple.
Yeah.
It's being active, and then if you can throw in the gym, and if you can throw in some real dieting
Right.
with good advice, with a solid background, with a solid base, that's going to be obviously better.
Nice. See, I knew you were the guy. You were the guy to ask.
So
But
yeah,
yeah,
and
I like
sometimes
that.
when
I like
people
that
aren't,
throughout small little ones throughout the day as well. Like
yeah,
after, like you said, after you maybe eat a meal, eat dinner or whatever, you know,
yeah, take it
you
one
know,
day at a time, because people
yeah,
want to, sometimes people gain weight over the course of like 10 years and they want to lose
yeah.
it in like 1 month. And it's
See,
like, it's not,
I've,
it's gonna work that way.
yeah, I've given up thinking that way, and I
Yeah.
feel so much better mentally. Just go out and exercise, and I feel so much good. I feel so much better at the end of the day that I'm
And
doing something, and I'm
and
not,
once you
and I'm being
enjoy,
realistic because people are like, 'cause, Samurai guy, I'm 5 Bruce Willows put together, okay, without any athletic ability, all right. So I'm like no muscle, just fustle. Five
oh
Bruce
man,
Willows put together, okay. You know
Don't
what
be
I'm
that
saying?
harsh on
So if I
yourself. Come on.
lose, if I lose like 40 pounds, you're not gonna notice. It's gonna be in my pinky or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But mentally, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, and I need to definitely need to watch more of your videos to get some more tips, like I got today. That's right. All right, so let's jump into the film industry. Yes. So what got you motivated? What inspired you to start doing stunts and getting in the industry, my friend?
Well, I had the lifelong dream of being like Bruce Lee or like Jackie Chan or like Chuck Norris, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of was a little bit disappointed with the reality of TV and the industry in Portugal,
Okay.
which was kind of stupid in a way because it was like that negative or that pessimistic way of looking at things. Because I had a friend of mine, which was from the martial arts as well, that went to the United States and took a filmmaker's course in, I think it was Long Beach, California. And he was also from the martial arts. So not only did he stay there in the US for 8 years, he started working in movies as an assistant director. Then I mean, he did a lot of he was in a lot of departments in movies because he was trying to get in. He got the SAG card as well, doing, for example, extra work and stuff like that. But then he
Yeah.
started doing stunts. And actually, one of the movies where he was in was, that movie Blood and Bone with Michael J. White.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you recall this, but that's actually a great stunt. There's actually this one sidekick that Michael J. White throws. The guy jumps to him and he throws this sidekick to his
Yeah.
chest, and the guy lands on his ass. That's my friend.
Oh, all right.
So he
All
got
right.
to work with the best, and
Wow.
all of a sudden, 8 years passed, and he came back with the know-how, the knowledge that he gathered in working in the industry, in those like martial arts B type movies, let's say. And when he got to Portugal, he was like, "Oh, Bruno, you're still in shape. I mean, I want to create a stunt team here. So, if you're still in shape, you're one of the guys that I was looking for because I know your skills. We knew each other from a martial arts background." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, you were in the U.S. You came back to Portugal to be a stunt coordinator. Are you kidding me? Get back, man. This is like a dead end." And he was like, "Oh no, maybe it's. I know it's a niche. I know it's a niche, but maybe if people know that there is such a thing as professional stuntmen here in Portugal, maybe even the script writers will start writing stuff with more action." And I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, whatever. Whenever you
Yeah.
need me, I'm there. I'm not doing anything better right now." So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
because I enrolled in 3 courses. I was in three what do you call majors. I was in I was in 3 university courses, but I didn't finish anyone.
Okay.
Anyone, yeah. So I was in the translation. That was the first one. I stayed there for 1 year. So I was lost as fuck. The second one was law school. I was there for
Yikes.
3 years. Yeah, it was mostly beer parties and girls, maybe. Why did I say maybe? And the third one was more my speed. Like not only it was called corporate communication, where you learn how to be how to speak in public, how to be in the marketing department, or maybe be a journalist. Um, you have a lot of ways of going out of that course. But I didn't finish any one, so I was like, yeah, I had no money. My parents were like, fuck you got to work on your own. So I was doing
Right. Right.
telemarketing. I was being a mascot and games and stuff like that. So I wasn't doing anything, but I kept working out. I never stopped
They.
working out.
There you go.
So when the opportunity arose, I was ready. I was freaking ready. And when I
Nice.
saw that this guy was for real, I was like, man, I can't believe it. So we started working, started doing like Portuguese soap operas and stuff like that, TV shows. A lot of people come to Portugal to shoot because it's a small country where we have everything at hand, and it's pretty cheap compared to like England and France and other countries in Europe. So great weather as well. So we started working, man, and we haven't stopped
Nice.
since. It's been 13 years. We haven't stopped since. So I was like, joke's on me for
Yeah.
thinking that this is a small country. Nobody's ever going to look at us. We are stunt people from the martial arts. Nobody cares. That's not true. Once again,
Nice.
bow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're still working for sure. And game changers is right around the corner. The industry may improve and get better in terms of the action and martial arts. You know what I mean? Just give it time, my friend.
You think so?
You'll be starring in, yeah, man, you'll be starring in something soon. You'll be the lead, my friend. You will be the lead. I'm calling it
Well,
right now. I'm predicting it right now. All right, it's gonna happen. But
it'd be
yeah,
an experience that I'd be willing to try, of course. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
I think movies like Top Gun Maverick, I think TV series like Cobra Kai, I
hmm,
think even this last movie with Adam Sandler, Hustle,
yeah,
where they show the guy going from zero to hero with all the training sessions and stuff. I think we are starting to enjoy stuff with stories along the lines of what we used to like in the 80s and 90s. I
right.
think people are probably getting fed up with the new school of movies. So you might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But still, it's still cool that you're a part of the industry. You're doing stunts, being a fight choreographer and all that stuff. It's cool to just be part
Yeah.
of it, you know. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got some shots here. All right, we got to talk about this. Well, was this a commercial? Was this inspired by the Van Damme commercial that came out a while back?
Yeah, I got viral for Portuguese standards. I got viral with a video that we did imitating Van Damme.
Hell
This
yeah, man.
this wasn't the one. This grew from there, but we did it with shopping carts for my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and they were like putting it everywhere, like on TV and stuff. It was like Christmas Eve, and we were looking at TV, and the video was passing, and my family was like, "Oh man, congratulations!" And I was like, "Yeah." It was like a spoof
Right.
on Van Damme's
Okay.
Volvo commercial, but
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
low cost version.
Yeah, yeah.
So people got a hold of that, and they started knowing who I was because of those little
Yeah.
skits that we were doing, the sketchy type of videos. So then they asked me if I wanted to stunt double for a kid who was gonna do some YouTuber kids, some influencers were doing a TV commercial for a cell phone network.
Okay, okay.
And they were like, if you want to be the stunt double, we're gonna do it on those motorbikes that you just saw. And I was like, okay, I can be his stunt double. So they then erased my head, and then they put the kid's head. But that was so tough, man, because those are not very high, those motorbikes. But when
Yeah.
you're there with your legs spread open, it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna jump out of this. I'm gonna screw myself up. So it was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It was like 25 takes or something. I can't
Oh,
believe
man.
I was able to be a father 6 months ago.
Still, phenomenal work, phenomenal work.
It was amazing.
Now this
And
fall here, this fall, holy crap, man. Everybody watching right now, that's Bruce getting thrown off the the top of the cliff there.
oh yeah, yeah.
Man, so was this a just do it stunt? Like
Yes, yeah.
just go, fuck it.
Like slap your face twice and just go for it. And what was tough about it was that the actor that I was stunt doubling for, he was with his arms tied behind his back because the other actor that pushes him kidnapped him. So he was like tied up
Yeah.
in the back. Of course, they were not going to tie me because if I had to use my hands when I reached the water, I had to use my hands, so they weren't going to tie me.
Right.
But I had to pretend that I was tied. So I had the rope in one hand, and the other one hand was holding it like this,
Wow.
like with a grip.
Yeah.
So what I could not do, for any goodness sakes, I could not let go of the hands. Otherwise, people would say, "Oh, come on, he's using the hands, he's
Yeah.
flailing," and
Yeah.
the guy was tied up, so it doesn't work. So I remember at lunchtime, like 2 hours early, I was going, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. So I thought my initial thought was, I'm gonna go head first and then roll into my back and land on my back. That was my genius plan. But obviously, with all the adrenaline, like, oh, let's go, 3, 2, 1, go! You start going with your head, you turn, and then you overspeed. So it's like I did like 1.5 somersault. So I knew this during the fall. I over rotated. So I was like, oh shit. So what I thought was, I'm not gonna open my hands. I'm just gonna eat it. So I was like,
Right.
and then I went with my, I think it was the right side of the face. I really splashed it through. I didn't even go under the water. I splashed it like it was like a turtle.
Oh, you
I
pancaked.
stayed afloat. Yeah, I pancaked. So
Yikes.
right side of my face, it was like numb for a week. Yeah.
Kathleen says you didn't get paid enough.
Oh no, no, shit, no. Oh
Oh
no.
man,
And with all the
for the
tax here in Portugal, it was like if you get like 500 euro for a stunt, you're gonna get something like 320 euros for that because of all the taxes. Yeah.
so you did it for the love of the art.
Yeah, I did it. I
You
did
make
it
art
for
for that.
passion.
There you
Yeah.
go, with passion. Now you're looking up straight up like a G here. You straight up boss level here. So we got some. What's this project from?
That's a commercial for what's the name of that? DJI, DJI, the drone company.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we were shooting here in Portugal. A German team came to Portugal to shoot, and
Yeah,
I met some of the most awesome drone pilots. They were doing stuff like in a well. We shoot in a well in that particular commercial,
yeah.
and the guy could go inside the well, go up, go down, go up, and then turn. It's like, oh man, I have a drone myself, so I know how much it sucks to actually drive it. The guy was
Wow.
freaking amazing. So yeah, we did this fight choreography scene, and I was like the bad guy, looked
Yeah.
like M Bison for
Yeah.
yeah, the berets like M
Tell,
Bison for
I'm
Street Fighter 2.
I'm telling you, you got the look, my friend. You got the look. What cracked me up? What cracked me up with this clip though was you bitch slapping your minion. You just smacked him upside the head.
Yeah, I
That
like
was
with my cigar, and
hilarious.
like don't
You,
shoot.
you,
He's gonna shoot, and I'm like, don't shoot. You're gonna
you
hit the
smacked
bag
the,
because the girl running away, she's got a bag with I don't know, explosives or something.
that was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. On set movie weapons.
Uh
Have
huh.
you have you dealt with a lot?
There's your Conan sword right there.
That's right, Conan, son. There we go.
See, I found
Vikings.
it. Yeah.
So, how was it working with the movie prop weapons? Was it all rubber? What is it? What is it? Or is it real
Well,
metal?
it depends. I once shot in Africa for 3 weeks, and they got actual. Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
How the hell did you know?
psychic man.
It's like you read minds. Yeah, fuck. I once was in Africa in Angola for 3 weeks shooting that movie Jinga. That
Yeah.
means Queen of Angola. Rainha de Angola means Queen of Angola.
Okay.
And we had a lot of extras because we
Yeah.
couldn't bring all the stunts. So we had a lot of extras. And when I say a lot of extras, I'm in the hundreds. It's like 300 fighters that we had to train every day. But those
Wow.
people are, some of them were like almost like tribes people, very, very poor people who disappeared after day one. So we were training 300 people. And on day two, we had other 330 people. And of those, 120 were new guys. And
Wow.
we were like, oh man, come on. That way we're never going to be able to teach them the proper way to do the fight scenes. And then when the prop team came with the spears, I mean, it's called a prop team for something, but they brought actual real spears. And I was like, okay, you guys are shitting me. These guys are rotating every day. Every day we get new guys, and
Yeah.
you're getting props that are actual spears. So you want to have like at least 100 guys die in this production, right? Tell me you're kidding. So we had to
Holy
be extra
shit.
careful. So it
Wow.
depends on where you are, basically, to answer your question. But yeah, mostly a lot of the times it's rubber or for example, if it's knives, sometimes it's an actual knife, but they don't polish the blade.
Right. Like a dull blade. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a crazy story. Was
that was a
was
really
everyone okay on set?
yes for us, but two people died on that set. One of the
Oh.
people was an extra, but because of malaria, he got malaria.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
the other one was the stupidest story ever. I don't know if we call it a crowd, which is the coordinator for the extras. There's a
Okay.
person who coordinates the extras.
Yeah.
She was trying to get a picture taken somewhere in a very beautiful rainfall.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she and the guy who was one of the security guards from there from Angola grabbed the camera, and he was going back, to make sure that he had a good framing to take the picture.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Be careful." And he was like, "No, no, it's okay, it's okay." The guy stumbled his feet. He fell on the water. He couldn't swim, so he died. She watched there. She
Oh.
stayed there watching him die because she wasn't gonna dive. It would be two dead
Yeah.
instead of one. Oh man, it was
Oh my
such a
God.
horrific
Wow.
experience. Yeah,
That's wow. That's unfortunate. That's sad. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Oh well. On a positive, lighter note,
Oh yeah, please.
the Portuguese Falcon.
Portuguese Falcon.
Is there
Wow.
any way? This looks like it's right up Samurai Guy's alley. Is there any way we can watch this out here? Do you know? Is there any way we can find it online or rent it or something like that? Because
Without being a
this
pirate, I'm not sure.
okay. We'll talk off the air.
Yeah, we'll talk off the air.
Yeah.
Maybe I can send it to you. Yeah,
Okay.
but you can see
Okay.
there's it's we had this fascist dictator here in Portugal. We had a dictatorship from the 30s to the 70s. We actually had a national revolution in 74, and before that, I mean, and this movie portrays that in a BD kind of way, like a cartoonish kind of way.
Yeah.
So it's like no, what do you call the squares? It's BD, right?
Yeah. I know what you're
The
talking about. Yeah. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
BD
about.
like cartoons, whatever.
Yeah.
The squared magazines with cartoons like
Yeah.
Batman, Superman. What
Yeah.
do you call it?
The comics you're
Comics,
talking about?
comics.
Yeah.
Shoot,
Okay.
in Portugal we
Yeah.
call it BD. So it's like a comic version
Okay.
mixed with a little bit of you might have noticed a little bit of Green Hornet or
Yeah.
Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
and the short guy with the eye patch who's playing like Kato is my coordinator, is David, the one that I mentioned that got hit by Michael J. White on the movie
Nice.
set.
Nice. But yeah, this looks hilarious, man. This looks like a lot of fun. A lot of definitely vibes of like you said, Batman and Robin, a little
Yeah,
bit of kick ass. It reminds me of like the old serials, from back in the day. But yeah, I was like watching some clips of some of the fight scenes. There he is on the right.
yeah.
There's the legend right there on the right.
The
And the
pink
fight
captain.
that's right. You got the metal steel, the steel fan there.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There you go. Nice.
Which I had
But
no idea how to use, even though I'm a kung fu practitioner. I had
yeah,
never tried the
yeah.
steel fan. I'm not Sammo Hung. I'm not Jackie Chan. So I was like, oh, let's try. I was trying out some of the things I do with the
Yeah.
broadsword with the fan. I was like, okay, it worked.
It's
So it was a
modified.
really good
It's fine.
experience.
But yeah, some of the clips from some of the fight scenes are legit, man. Like I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I actually want to watch this. So we'll talk off the air.
Yeah.
But Hitman Bodyguard, man, was a fun action flick. Did you
Mhm.
get a chance to talk and meet Samuel Jackson and Ryan Reynolds? I almost said Gosling because I do that. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Did you get a
exactly.
chance to meet them, or they were too busy?
Yeah, I actually, well, Samuel Jackson was like this. I was with his stunt guy. There was this stunt guy who was driving the boat that I play this guy. I mean, I appear for 2 seconds. I'm like an extra with a
Yeah,
little bit of a stunt.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm the owner of the speedboat, and Samuel Jackson's character jumps on top of the speedboat, and then he steals it from me, and he drives off, and I land on the water. I did that scene like probably 30 something times. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my God!
That's what you see on screen. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I have no idea how I didn't get COVID before time, because everybody knows that the water, the canals in Amsterdam are full of everything from dead people, vomit,
Oh
rust
shit!
from the bikes, everything,
Vomit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, guys
I like
doing
how you went from
space
dead
games.
people. You could have just said dead people, but like you said,
No,
dead people and vomit. Cover all the bases.
Because for me, vomit is the worst, obviously.
Yeah.
Guys doing space cakes. Guys doing space cakes and smoking all that marijuana. They're like, oh, that they always go and barf on the canal. It's like, oh, there's
my
a
God.
public sewer for you. So this jackass right here fell on it like 30 something times. It was a fun experience. But I mean, Samuel Jackson, I mean, maybe he's tired, It's like
he's up there in age.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I mean, they work forever. Everybody knows them on the streets. Everybody wants to talk to them. Everybody wants to take a picture. So his stunt double was like, oh, this is Bruno. This is the owner of the boat that they're going to steal. And I was like, good morning, sir. And he was like, yeah. Okay. Ryan Reynolds, though, I have a cool story with him, which is he's so great that I hate him. It's like he's so perfect that I hate him. So there was this producer there that somebody, I don't know his name, but he was like this very funny guy, always wearing a suit. And he was like feeling sorry for me. He kind of took a liking to me because I fell so many times on the water. Yeah. And the guy was like, oh, you're that poor guy that fell in the water, man. How are you feeling, man? He was always talking to me. And I was like, yes, very good, sir. Very good, sir. And they told me that not only was he the producer of that movie, but I think he also was one of the, I don't know, associate producers or something for Pulp Fiction and other movies. So he was like a big shot. Yeah. And the day after, we were on another set, and he's with his daughter, and his daughter's eating an ice cream. And in Portugal, when we greet people, we give 2 kisses. But I guess in America, you guys are like handshake, right? Or something like that. It's like, hi. Yeah. Nobody kisses, right? Nobody goes right there and kisses, right? It's not so he was like, yeah, that's not okay, but that's normal for us. So it was like, you can already figure what would happen. The guy was like, oh, this is the guy that fell in the water. What's your name? Sorry. And I was like, oh, Bruno. It's like, Bruno, this is, I don't know. I don't remember his daughter's name, but he was introducing me to his like 14-year-old daughter. This is oh no, Casey. I don't remember her name. Cadence, whatever. Yeah. This is Cadence. This is Bruno. And I was like, oh, nice to meet you. And I went there to give 2 kisses. I was so nervous that I went there to give 2 kisses. And she was like, oh. And so I stumbled her. She dropped her ice cream, and I was like, oh. I looked at her. He looked at me and was like, all right, Bruno, going for it, huh? And I was like, no. I'm from Portugal. In Portugal, we give 2 kisses. The guy turns away. Boom. My chance for being a movie star is up. Fucked forever. And I was like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden, Ryan Reynolds comes along, and he does everything perfectly. So, Cadence, this is Ryan. Oh, nice to meet you. How are you, Cadence? How's it going? Are you in school? The guy was so perfect, and I was like, fuck you for being this great. Let me get my bags and get back to Portugal. Motherfucker. So, yeah, that's what you get, man. It was so awkward. It was so awkward.
Well, that's a learning experience. Now you know what not to do next time. But it's all good. You're not banished from America. Stop it. Stop that talk.
Yeah, next time I'll be like, hello, Cadence, how are you?
Yeah, there you go.
My name is Willow.
That's a really funny story, though, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I hope he doesn't remember that. I'll remember that forever.
It's the time to team up with Hugh Jackman and take down Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do a celebrity boxing match.
There you go.
Not that I'm a celebrity. He's a celebrity. Let's beat up a celebrity boxing match.
There you go. I want to do. I got my money on Bruce. But now let's keep it going.
He's so great. He's so perfect that maybe he could kick my ass as well. That'd be really embarrassing. Like the whole spectrum. Sorry, buddy. Go on.
Man. But yeah, man. So podcasting, Instagramming, YouTubing. Look at this guy flexing there. Whoops, wrong photo. Man, what made you do the podcast route?
A lot of it started out. The first time I actually saw a podcast, I was like, "Who wants to hear 3 hours of this? 3 hours of a video of guys talking like everybody else, right?" Yeah. But then I was like, "Okay, I don't have to watch it. I can just put on my headphones and like wash the dishes while I learn something. So the first podcast I ever saw is quite a very an excellent fitness podcast named Barbell Shrugged. They talked a lot about functional fitness in a very relaxed manner. So I was like, this is actually quite good, huh? Then I started watching Joe Rogan. I started watching other types, mostly fitness oriented or
Hmm.
lifestyle, like healthy lifestyle type of podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is great. I should do one of these. So I started doing in Portugal first with Portuguese people like nutritionists or personal trainers or strength coaches or doctors. Even I even have done it with musicians, comedians, stuff like that from Portugal. And then I was like, what if we could do it remotely with some of my heroes, because some of them might be open to actually, some of them right now are not that well known, only for nerds like us,
Yeah.
or they're mostly into stunting, so they're not really celebrities. It's not like trying to reach Leonardo DiCaprio or something. So I started doing it with the first one for the Bruce Willow channel. Was actually a guy from the bodybuilding world, Brad Schoenfeld. But the second one was, I believe, Simon Ree. So
Yes.
when Grandmaster Simon Ree actually said yes, oh man, you have everything, man.
I'm I'm
What
a
an
I'm a
amazing homework.
I'm a professional.
Yeah, man. This is wow. So yeah, so he's like the godfather of the podcast, because it was like the first guy who actually said yes, and I was like, really? You want to talk to me?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like shaking. I had no idea what I was asking, but it
That's
was
what
a
I
great
said when
podcast.
you responded to me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Um, it was great, man. Then Keith Cook,
Dude,
Richard Norton. I
Richard
mean,
Norton, yeah.
I love those guys. I was like, really?
Eric
These guys are
Lee,
saying yes to me. Eric Lee,
yeah,
the
man.
guys that I
Yeah.
grew up watching. I loved all those movies, and actually, Keith Cook is probably one of my. When I was younger, I love that guy. I mean, the guy's amazing. I was like, I want to be like that guy. You know,
Yeah.
I loved the speed of his kicks. I loved his flair in China O'Brien. I loved everything about that guy. I was like, I still can't believe I reached him, and he's such a cool guy. And he's 60 or 62, and he looks like 23, man. He's
Mhm.
wow.
Yep.
These are the true martial artists, you
Mhm.
know.
I ran into him at a convention and I got his autograph. Very nice,
Wow.
very sweet guy. I had him sign Reptile from the first Mortal Kombat movie,
Wow.
so
Wow.
I had him sign that one. And Simon, I kind of snuck a photo with him. He was just walking around at Dragon Fest.
He
Him and
snuck it
Philip,
like
yeah,
like a
him and
paparazzi.
Philip. They were both walking around. I was like, oh man, best of the best
Yeah.
guys. I gotta get
I
a
mean,
picture with them.
I must have seen Best of the Best like 100 times. I know
Classic.
everything in that movie. I mean, it's like wow. And the great thing about these guys is that they're on their 60s, 70s. If you count Richard Norton, they look amazing, and
Yeah,
they're so composed. They're like they're first they're martial artists, and then they're movie stars, and that's why
yeah.
they never got lost in that realm of, I don't know, drugs, being a little bit bipolar or mental health issues. I mean,
Yeah.
they like to teach their students. They love teaching. They love working out every day at 5 a.m. And then all of a sudden, every once in a while, they do a movie. And
Mhm.
I believe that's the path to happiness in our industry, because otherwise you might end up a very bitter person if you don't get that part, if you consider yourself an artist first. I mean, bad shit can happen to you if you go that route.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. A good example of that. I'm a big fan of this guy. Daniel Bernhardt is a good example of that.
Yeah.
He has so much respect now, or he's respected so much now as a stunt guy, fight coordinator guy. I mean, look what he did with what was the movie last year? God damn it.
Last year, Matrix.
No, no, no. The good action movie. It came out with oh my god, with the Breaking Bad actor.
Oh my goodness, I only
Nobody,
remember
nobody,
Bloodsport 2.
nobody. The
Mm.
movie Nobody.
Oh.
Have you seen
I,
that?
No, actually, I
Oh, you
haven't.
got to check that out. But
Nobody.
he trained the lead actor for 2 years
Mm.
to be in that movie, and the fights are like really good. The action's really good. So Daniel has that. People respect him now over the years as a stunt martial arts fight coordinator guy. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see that for sure.
I
But yeah,
loved him
man.
in Bloodsport 2. I mean, people give him crap for Bloodsport 2 because he's not Van Damme, but Bloodsport 2 is actually it's an okay
Yeah,
movie. Come on, I mean,
yeah,
3 and 4, okay,
yeah.
okay. I mean, I can't stand that, but Bloodsport 2 is actually I always dug that scene of the fist to try to extinguish the flame, with James
Yeah.
Hong, with
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Miyagi, with Pat Morita. He appears in the movie as well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. It's cool.
Have you seen True Vengeance? Daniel Bernhardt movie called True Vengeance. Check that out.
I
That
probably
one was
saw just
never.
that one with him.
Yeah, that one's hard to find. I think it's maybe just on VHS, unfortunately. But I was talking to David Worth, who was involved with that film. I had him on the podcast, a director and stuff like that, and the guy who went off to do Chad, who went off to do the John Wick movies, did True Vengeance. That's why the action was so good with Daniel Bernhardt in that film. But that's like a lost classic. It's hard to find, unfortunately. But yeah, man, your podcast is legit. Is extremely entertaining, and I just love the set, bro. This is my home. This is like I live here. Like this is just, I love the lighting, the photos from all the different movies. You got Stallone up there,
Yeah,
Bloodsport.
that's
I mean,
actually my old
this
set.
is my whole life right here. I
That
love
was
it.
my old set. Now we changed to this one because now we have a big space where we have a big gym with where I teach the online classes, and we have a new podcast home as well. But that was the first one, and I love decorating it. It was like, no, decoration is on me. I don't want anybody to come here ruin this. I know exactly what to put and where to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You got Kathleen. I only listen to your podcast. There you go.
Oh, really, Kathleen?
Yeah.
Oh,
There
thank you
you
so
go.
much. Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Because I was like you. I mean, this is a conversation. We're having so much fun. It's like this is it, man. If I went to Richard Norton asking him only about the movies, I could get it in. I could get that in a Wikipedia or something. I want to
Right.
know what he eats for breakfast. I want to know what was the worst in his life and how did he overcome it. I want to know, actual stuff, actual people talk. So I that's what I really want. That's what I really want to get out of the podcast. So I don't mind that it's like 2 or 3 hours long. I just want
Yeah.
people to connect
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
sometimes you get in such a flow after an hour or something that it's like, no, I'm not going to waste this. I'm not going
Right.
to cut it right now. I want to keep going. So it's like, yeah, I think there were a few in which I think that me and the guests really got into a flow like we are getting right now, and I think it's
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing. It's like an art form, It's like it really does feel good.
Yeah. And so far, here on the channel, knocking on the wood, knocking my head too. All the guests I've had, they've had a great time, and they always want to come back. So that's a good sign that Samurai Guy's doing something right.
Have you ever had
Uh,
anyone that was like, okay, I'll be on your podcast. $1,000.
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I'll run into that at some point. I'll run into
I've had
that.
a couple. It was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Nice talking to you. That and the conversation right there. But I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of your work.
I understand. I understand, but
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
get it.
wow.
Yeah. But let's keep it rocking and rolling, man. Speaking of having some fun, I got some clips, y'all. I got some clips to show all you badasses hanging out with us today. This was the video where I discovered you, my friend. This was the
Wow.
one that I was
Show me.
like, I gotta watch all these videos now. Here we go.
I'm okay.
Man,
That was the one, man. I was rolling. I was like, okay, this guy's hilarious, and he's a legit badass martial artist too.
man,
Subscribe, Instagram follow. That was it. I was hooked, man. It's
thank you so
so
much,
funny.
brother. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
man.
brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm having such a blast doing this. And my team is great. I could never go on with this conversation without saying that the podcast, the videos that we do, I mean, I got a great team. Because when I started my Portuguese YouTube channel, I went to one of my best friends in the world. I know him actually ever since birth because our mothers are very close friends. And we hadn't seen each other in years because he had gone his way, and he has a production company and he does all sorts of production. And I was working as a stunt person. So whenever we ran into each other, we were like, oh, we got to do something. One day we're going to do something, you know, one of those things that you say like, oh, we got to meet up for coffee. And then you never do. But then we did. And it was like, oh man, this is great chemistry. He had all the right names in the industry to help us with. For example, we have a director, a great director for our podcast, which who works works here on Portuguese TV as well. So, and the kid who does the editing for the copycats, like this one that we just saw.
Oh, I love
The
those.
boy is amazing. So, if you can actually notice that when I'm dancing with Van Damme,
Yeah.
obviously there was a Thai girl dancing with him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He managed not only to do me with a blue screen, with a green screen
Right.
behind me.
Yeah.
So he managed to obviously crop me and put me in the movie, but he managed to erase the girl. Why? Because it's a steady
Yeah.
shot.
Right.
The guys in the background, the extras, the Thai extras are like this. They're not moving. So whenever she would go to one side or the other, she would unveil what's in the background. So he managed to erase the girl because I was not covering her with my dance. I was not covering her well. So he managed to erase the girl. Look at the patience. Like for 3 or 4 hours, he erased the girl and then he put me on. It was like, wow, this kid, man, he's going places. So ever since we started doing those, and we've done like 12 or 13 of those copycats already.
Yeah.
We're always having a blast on each one of those. The last one was Dragons Forever. I mean, I'm having such a blast.
Speaking of, it's one of my favorites. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, ho. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I mean,
love that, man.
What a great editing bit.
But
you know, the toughest one was which was the toughest one?
I might have it here. Which one?
Guess the toughest one in Dragons Forever in the copycat. Guess which one was the toughest for
Which
me
one?
as a performer, doing that thing that Samo Home does. Like,
Oh, really?
Oh man, it took 40 something takes because the guy was like pop, 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 pop. I was never in rhythm with him because that's one of the things that I really like is that I don't want to speed it up or slow it down. Sometimes we have to, obviously. Those guys are too fucking fast. I mean, Yun Bio, come on.
Speaking of,
but you know, it was so tough.
I love your copycat videos though because it shows you like the beginning and the finished product. You know, it shows you kind of struggling trying to get it, and then you finally nail it. It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But this one, I was like, no, he's not gonna do it. What? He's gonna do that? That move is insane.
What?
He can also twerk too. He
I
can do
twerk.
everything. He can do everything.
Oh
Man, so
The
were
wor-
you just watching Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars and you were like, I gotta try this.
I think every stunt guy that has seen that movie, I mean, we always wanted to do that. It's like I'm not sure I can make it, but yeah, it took me the whole afternoon to do that freaking segment. But the worst part of it is, since Bob is lying there. I mean, I don't have another stunt performer to go back and forward to meet me at the last sidekick. So
Right.
if he's standing here, I only have this amount of space and I can't go over or I can't go under. So that's why it took so many tries. It's not just the acrobatics, it's getting exactly the precision of kicking the
Right.
Bob, the dummy,
Yeah.
at the right spot. So it's like, oh shit, man. I can't
It was
believe I got
phenomenal.
it.
Well done.
Oh,
Well
thanks,
done, my
man.
friend. That was
But yeah, I mean,
badass.
Yun Bio,
Yeah.
it's inimitable. You can't imitate him. That's
It's
what I meant.
insane. He kind of
Yeah.
stole. I mean, we all love the Jackie Chan versus Benny the Jet Urquidez fight, #2 in Dragons Forever. I mean, it's a great rematch, and Sammo was great. It was a great, and Yuen Wah, the scene stealing Yuen Wah,
Wow.
but Yuen Biao was kind of like stealing scenes, man, in that movie. Like he was like it was like the Yuen Biao show at the end. Really, that guy's
Wow.
phenomenal,
Is
man.
that your favorite fight ever? Benny the Jet versus Jackie Chan? I mean, from the Wheels on Mules, probably.
Yeah, I like the one in Wheels on Meals a little bit more than Dragons Forever. They're both really good. They're both just top notch. But
Why do you
Wheels on
think it's?
Meals,
Why do you think it's better than most of the other fights, even of Jackie Chan's? Is
man,
is it the impact factor that Benny the Jet brings to the table? Like,
I think so. I think
yeah, I
so.
think so too.
And it's the little things too. It's like him punching, doing all these combinations, and Jackie's blocking and moving the table behind him while he's
Oh
blocking it,
yeah.
and then
Oh,
Benny does the roundhouse kick, and then Jackie moves, and he takes out the candle lights, and it was real.
yep,
Dude,
yep,
it's
yep.
fucking amazing, bro. Like it's so good. I
It's
think Benny,
so
I
creative.
think
It's
yeah,
artistic. It's
yeah,
creative,
yeah.
and most of the Chinese fights or Hong Kong fights, Chinese fights, obviously, were so agile and
Mm-hmm.
so quick that
Yeah.
uh, all of a sudden a bigger guy with a little bit more impact to each blow. I mean, it brought so much to the table in terms of you feel each blow in a way that you didn't feel exactly like that whenever you saw the other movies, because the
Yeah.
other movies had like it's too big of a blow. It's not one
Yeah.
that you're like, oh my god, he broke his nose. It was so.
Yeah. You feel the impact.
It's the impact. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And that's just a classic. It's like I'm not gonna argue against anyone that chooses that to be their favorite Jackie Chan fight. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue against that because it's so good. So since we're talking movies, I got some questions for you, my friend. Just some
Sure,
fun
let's go.
ones. Just some fun ones. All right.
Yeah.
Putting you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot. Okay. Favorite Sammo Hung movie?
I would have to say, okay. Since we're saying Sammo Hung, I'm probably not going to put the Three Musketeers movies in
Right.
in that. Like, I'm not going to go I'm probably not going to go Dragons Forever or Wheels on Meals, right? Is that what you mean? Is that you mean Sammo Hung, Sammo Hung?
Yes, Sammo Hung.
Okay, like for example, Pedicab Driver, Eastern
Mhm.
Condors all the way.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Just
freaking love that movie.
so good.
I mean,
The
it's
Matt.
like it's Rambo.
Yeah,
It's like Hong Kong
yeah.
Rambo.
Sambo. I call him Sambo. Man,
Yeah.
so since we got to segue to it now, man. I got to show the clip. Badass, man. Now
You see how
that one part of the clip where you just kind of just hopped and didn't really do anything, you just hopped down. That would have been me trying to do it. And that's it. That's as far as I was going to go.
You know, the fun thing about it, even with the copycats, it happens quite a lot, which is my first takes are so horrible that my crew is like looking at me like they look with this face like he's never gonna get it. Okay, okay, you want to do more? Are you sure? Okay, and I'm like, I know my body, I know this. Yeah, okay, keep filming,
Yeah.
please. And
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
I even get like, because inside I'm like frustrated, and I'm going like, I'm not sure I can make this, so I can't have your negativity instilled in me right now. So don't look at me like that because I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking that I'm never gonna get it, but I know in my heart that I can do it. And
And
it
you killed
usually
it.
turns out fine. It's like, wow, I can't believe it.
Oh,
I
the
can't
Scott
believe it.
Adkins Guyver kick one. Woof. That was
Oh
tough.
man,
But you
it took
nailed it.
so long. It took so
Yeah.
long as well. The guy's such a athletic,
Yeah.
amazing guy.
Speaking of Scott Adkins, do you have a favorite Scott Adkins movie?
I'm gonna say something terrible. I don't love his movies.
Okay.
There is
That's
not
fine.
one of his movies that I'm gonna say I love it.
Okay.
Maybe I don't think he's gotten the chance to do really movies that I as a spectator love.
Yeah.
But I would have to say maybe Undisputed 3 because of the incredible fight scenes.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
If we separate and say fight scenes, okay, Undisputed
Yeah.
3.
Have you seen
Or
Ninja 2, Shadow of a
Ninja
Tear?
2. Ninja
That's
2,
some good
yeah.
stuff too.
That's
Have you seen
amazing as well.
Avengement?
No,
I highly recommend that one. Check that out.
because I
That
haven't
might be
seen
the one.
those many.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that many movies of his, probably
That,
because of that.
that might, no, I got you. It's fine. Avengement might be the one where you look at him a little differently.
Okay,
It's
Avengement.
really good, man. Like
Okay.
overall acting, story, everything. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's keep it going, man. Favorite Jackie Chan movie?
Oh man, you're killing me. It's so difficult. Okay. I would
Rush Hour 3. Rush Hour 3.
no freaking way. I would have to say Drunken Master, the first one. The first one. I actually don't like Drunken Master 2. Okay, so you guys can kill you guys can kill me. You guys can kill me. I don't like that movie.
I'm having a heart attack.
I mean, the fight is great.
Okay.
Too many wires. I mean,
Okay.
in terms of fight styling, it's not my thing because I don't appreciate wires as much.
Okay.
The fight with Lau Kar Leung in the train is amazing. Okay. But I don't love the movie.
Okay.
Drunken Master 1 is one of my favorite films of all time.
It's hard to argue against that because Huang Zhang Li, man.
But that's probably closest to my heart because it's one of the first ones that I saw with him. Nice. So if I had to choose like a little bit more 80-esque, I would go either Dragons Forever or Wheels on Meals. Probably Dragons Forever.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
great
say
movie.
Dragons Forever. Yeah.
It's so good. That just got released on 4K. It's crazy
Really?
now. A lot of these old classics are finally getting, Blu-ray and 4K releases, which is great, because the younglings of today, they need to know. They need to know.
They need to
Damn it.
know.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
for sure, man.
badassity of the 80s and the 90s,
I
man.
mean, nobody knows anymore. I mean, how am I going to show Dragons Forever to a young kid who's completely in love with other stuff? I mean, he's not going to, I don't think he's going to appreciate, he or her are going to
It's possible.
appreciate,
Yeah. But some you get those few. You get those
Yeah, you
few
get
in
those few.
there
You get
that
those
that, that
few.
are like, wow, and then they're hooked. So,
But
you know.
sometimes I think we're like dinosaurs, always preaching to the choir about the right, always preaching to the choir about the old school stuff. That's why I don't watch a lot of action movies of nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm a huge nerd of the
Yeah. I don't
'90s
blame
and
you, man.
before.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Yeah. But the thing is that I've actually, because that's a cliche. When you get older, you always go, my stuff was better, and
yeah,
get
yeah,
off my lawn,
yeah.
right? But it's weird. As the older I've gotten, I've actually started to appreciate movies from before my time, movies from the 70s, movies from the 60s, 50s. I even have some silent films on Blu-ray. Yeah, it's crazy because there was a time where Little Samurai was stupid. Some might argue that did not change yet, but when Samurai was young and dumb, right? It
Yeah.
was my dad would always try to
Me too.
show me older movies, right? So here's a good example right here, and I was just kind of like, "Oh, great! My dad showed me one of these older movies. Oh God, right?" And now I'm watching those same movies today, and I'm like, "Wow,
You mean like
this is
classic?
great."
You mean like classic movies like Black and White, like I don't know, 12 Angry Men, stuff like that?
12 Angry Men, I love that movie now.
Oh man, it's one of my
But
favorites.
like
I'm a
Charles
huge.
Bronson,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mostly action type
Mhm.
movies. Okay,
Yeah, but I like a little bit of everything though. But 12
because
Angry Men,
I
12
love
Angry Men
dramas.
would not work today. If you went to what I mean is if you went to the studio, you went to Universal Studios and pitched
Hmm.
it to the board meeting. Hey, we're going to make a movie with 12 dudes in one room and they just talk. Go. The studio's going to be like, "No." The studio's going to be like, "Are there any superheroes?" One of the 12 Angry Men is, that's how it is now.
Or they would sprinkle a lot of politically
Mhm.
correctness onto it, and
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh no, guys, you're ruining the whole story. Come on,
You're
let's
ruining
keep
it.
it simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Yeah.
last movie that I actually enjoyed quite a lot, which is spent in the same area, is I really like that movie, 127 Hours with James Franco.
I have not seen that. How is that?
I dug that movie. That was I think that's underrated movie.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
People don't love. I mean, ever since he hosted the Oscars, people are like, "Oh man, he's always like smoking weed, always like harassing people or whatever."
Yeah.
But he did an excellent job in that movie, and I think it was Danny Boyle who directed it. And the editing is amazing, and I really like that. So I usually, if they're good, I love movies that are all taking place in the same space. One other
Like the
movie that I
one
loved when
location
I
like
was,
one location movies.
yeah, like one location.
I
One
like
other
those
movie that,
too.
yeah, one other movie that I really loved when I was growing up, and it's not an action movie, is
Mhm.
Talk Radio from Oliver Stone. Talk
Oh,
Radio.
I've not seen that one.
Oh man, it's like wow, it's like a thriller of it's like a radio host, a radio show host that starts to fall in love with his own voice, starts to really like
Mm.
giving it to people, like hanging up on people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's this guy Eric Bogosian. I'm not sure if you know of. He
I
was
think I
on
know the actor. Was he in Under Siege too?
exactly that one. Yeah, the
Oh,
guy with
I'm
the curly
good.
hair.
I'm good.
Man, that guy is such a brilliant actor, and it's a pity that he hasn't done a lot of things
Yeah.
in the movies. But that movie, Talk Radio, it's like such an intense thriller, and
Nice.
I really love it. Yeah.
Nice. The most recent thriller I watched. It's It's not that old, but it's called Nocturnal Animals,
Oh yeah,
which
with
is like,
Jake
dude, that
Gyllenhaal.
that was great, man. And Collateral too, with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. I just recently watched that. I was late to the game on that one. That was a pretty good suspense movie. But back to action. Favorite Van Damme movie?
I am a little bit
Derailed.
divided. I'm a little bit divided between Kickboxer and Bloodsport, but
It's tough, isn't it?
I'm gonna say Bloodsport.
Yeah, it's diff. It's you can't argue because when you think of Van Damme, that's the first movie you think of is Bloodsport.
Yes, I'd say
Yeah.
nowadays. I get a little bit more of a kick out of watching Kickboxer. I don't know why. It's probably because of
The training sequences.
the scenery of the training sequences and
Yeah, yeah,
the whole tie set. Somehow
yeah,
I like watching him in the jungle for
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
reason.
yeah.
But I think Bloodsport overall is a more symbolic movie. It's got that flavor, it's got that intensity that
Soundtrack.
Kickboxer is a little
Yeah.
bit lacking. But you know what? When I was growing up, I was not a huge fan of when I was like 15 or 16. Right
Hmm.
now, I am. I can give it a lot more merit nowadays, but back then, since I had seen a lot of Jackie Chan first, and only then I started watching Van Damme, I was like, this guy's not that hot.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he is obviously, and he's got
Yeah.
an amazing physique, and he's great. He's amazing. I love Van Damme. Don't get me wrong, but I had seen Wheels on Meals already. I
Yeah.
had seen Eastern Condors. So I was like, okay, this guy does the split like 20 times in a fight. This guy does the helicopter kick like 30 times in a fight. It's
Yeah.
like all his fights are like an action reel.
Yeah.
So putting all of his, meat on the barbecue, meat on the grills. And
Right. Right. Right.
what I like about Jackie Chan is that he doesn't put everything in a single fight. He's got too much of a great taste in choreographing. That's why each fight you see something different out of him. Even acrobatics, like, oh, he does a backflip. Oh, he does a backflip with half a turn. Oh, he does this great kick. I mean, he doesn't put everything into a single fight. That's what I like about his. It's like a decoration genius. It's like a design
Yeah.
genius. You don't give
He,
everything you got.
if some people choose him as the GOAT, I'm not going to argue against that.
Yeah, no, he
I'm,
is.
I'm not going to argue.
Some people say Sammo Hung is the better director,
Had
or
a better stunt team. That's possible.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Sammo Hung is a little bit better in one or two areas. But yeah, Jackie Chan is Jackie Chan. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
Yeah. Thoughts on this guy? It never gets old, man. The
I
clip
wasn't
never gets
expecting
old.
that.
Thoughts on at least his early work, first 5 movies. Were you
you
were
know,
you were
you know
you were
what?
you the same with how you were with Van Damme? Were you same with Seagal? You seen
Yeah, a
Jackie
little bit.
Chan? Mhm.
And I haven't seen. I mean, most of Seagal's movies, I haven't rewatched them.
Yeah.
I like a couple of those, but I'd say he's a good martial artist. He's a great Aikido guy, but I'm not, I never felt his charisma
Okay.
in terms of comparing with the others.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
do like the mood of some of his movies. I like those early '90s police type movies.
Yeah.
Like you get a little bit of that flavor with Showdown in Little Tokyo with Brandon Lee and Dolph
Right.
Lundgren
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
There's a
Out for
little bit of
Justice.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's
That's
a
good
little
stuff.
bit of that
Right.
skyscrapers with a little bit of jazz music, saxophone, and then they're looking for the bad guy, and then
Hmm.
and powerful fights. I like he was a pioneer in terms of the whole breaking arms and breaking necks
Hmm.
thing in the movie. So we got to give him kudos to that. But I never really understood the charisma aspect of it. I was never a huge fan. I gotta
Right.
admit.
Right. No, I got you. I got you. Thoughts on Tony Jaa and Iko Uwais?
I mean, they're great. I mean, Tony Jaa is like a blueprint of of what an action star should be in terms of athletic skills. I mean, whenever I look at those demonstrations that he did, like in the late '80s or early '90s. I mean, the guy is amazing. Ong Bak is just such a masterpiece. It was like Hong Kong now in Thailand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hong Kong movies, like it's like the flame is alive. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now they're beating up guys in this part of the world. And the Raid is just a masterpiece as well in terms of impacts.
Yeah.
So I believe both of them gave a new nuance to what impact is in fights. So
Right.
it's like you upgrading a little bit of the impact from the Hong Kong style movies, and they have their own flavor as well. So I do love those guys. I love
Yeah.
those movies.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's flip the script a little bit. Different genres, just for fun. While I got you here, you got a favorite horror movie? Yay or
It's
nay?
gonna sound yay. This is gonna sound corny. I love Candyman, the first one with
Oh,
Virginia Madsen.
it's legit. There's nothing corny about that.
Because
That's classic.
isn't it? Oh yeah, okay. I'm not sure if people think it's corny or think it's a cult classic, but that ending scene is like wow. It really stung me when I saw it when I was a little kid. I was like, wow, this is hellish. I mean, this is monstrous. I mean,
Yeah.
it really got me not sleeping for like 2 or 3 nights in a row or something. And one other movie that always scared the shit out of me, and it's not a horror movie at all, but
Okay.
I was a young kid when I saw it, was Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, I could
I
see
have no
that.
idea why, because the guy walking with and Vincent Price, the horror actor,
Yeah.
Vincent
Yeah.
Price,
Yeah.
the guy from Thriller, like ha ha
Oh,
ha
yeah.
ha ha.
Yeah. Vincent
When
Price
he
is great.
dies, I
Yeah.
mean, he gives the hands to Johnny Depp to Edward,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Edward all of a sudden like puts his sister hands on the hands,
Yeah.
and the guy Vincent Price goes from like this to this.
Yeah.
He does this. I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, what's happening to him?" And then he dies, and it's like, wow. I mean, I was so scared. I was always turning on the lights at home to make sure that Vincent Price and Edward Scissorhands were not in each of the corners of my house. My goodness,
Yeah.
it was
Vincent Price is he's a master. He's a master of that genre. I got a funny
wow.
Candyman story for you.
Really?
Yeah, you're not the only one that's scared of that movie. Um, a barber of mine. I used to go to his barber shop, but he moved. Uh, we were just talking about movies and stuff, and then the reboot that just came out recently. We were talking about. I mentioned it. I was like, "Hey, did you see the trailer for the new Candyman reboot that's coming out?" And he was like, "No." He's like, "No, I didn't see it." And I'm like, "Well, what we gonna check it out later or what?" He was like, "Nah, man." He got serious on me, and I was just like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Nah, man. I saw the original movie. It scarred me for life. I don't want to see it." And I was like, "Well, what?" I was like, "Well, what happened?" I'm laughing at him, right? I'm like, "What happened?" He said when he was young, right? His parents went out to dinner or something like that, so he was home alone.
Oh,
He turned
okay.
on. They had cable. He turned on cable, watched Candyman came on. He watched it from beginning to end, and then afterwards, he decided to test himself. So he went to the mirror and said Candyman, 3 times. When he did that, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden a glass shattered in the kitchen. Yeah.
Oh man, you're
A
shitting
gla
me.
a glass shattered in the kitchen and somebody banged on the front door from the outside.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, I would kill myself. Really? Really?
Yeah, and he ran to the door. First he went to the kitchen first, and then he ran to the door and looked, and there was nobody there. And he said ever since then, he will never watch that movie again. He doesn't want to even talk about anything Candyman related. So as a good friend, I would, you torture the ones you love, right? So I went. So in the mall that we were at, I went to this FYE toy store and stuff, and they had a Candyman doll there. And so I took a picture of it and I texted it to him. He was like, "You fuck." I'm an
Wow.
asshole.
Oh man, what are the odds of that happening? Come
Right?
on. Oh man.
Right?
It's like you're gonna be scarred for life. Yeah, you're gonna believe that that's actually happening. Do I have a little bit? I'm listening to some sort of feedback here. I'm
It's
listening
coming
to.
in, I don't know where,
Oh,
but it's not
you're getting it too.
just it's
Just give me 20 seconds.
sure.
Let me see if I
Sure,
can.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's
Go
this?
ahead.
Where's this from?
I'll
Did
play another video for everybody watching while you do
Did
it.
I turn anything on? Let me check it out.
Yeah, I'll play the video. Here you go, guys. One more awesome clip from the legend.
Mm-hmm.
The guy screaming, man. That was great.
Sorry, buddy. I know what it was. You know, remember when I said that my director for the
Yeah.
podcast is like MacGyver?
Yeah.
Sometimes in the middle of the night, he runs tests in my computer remotely from home. So he was like turning stuff on in the next room, and
Yeah.
I'm alone in the studio, and we're talking about Candyman. So it's like, wow, like Candyman, and there's the guy. Bah, 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 bah. So I was listening to myself on the other room. So. He was playing a video of mine to see something. I don't know, the network, whatever.
Okay. That's all good. You sound good, man. That's good.
Yeah, cool.
Are you? Do you have a favorite fantasy movie of the fantasy genre?
Fantasy. Never ending story.
Oh, that
works. Which I saw recently, and I was like, eh.
No, really?
Right? No.
You know, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I'm
yeah, don't rewatch it. It's one of those that's just like, it's good. I mean, some movies you can watch forever. You watch Big with Tom Hanks, and it's like it's fucking amazing every time.
Yeah.
But Never Ending Story is like, yeah. Nice. Okay.
Have you seen Return to Oz?
Return to Oz. You mean the Judy Garland? No.
No, this was starring a little what's her name? She was
Elizabeth Perkins. Elizabeth Perkins.
No, she was the actress. She was the lead actress of The Craft, but she was really young.
The Craft.
Yeah. Is it
Nev Campbell? Nev Campbell?
No.
Nev Campbell?
No, she was like the evil. She was like the bad one.
Oh, I don't know her name. Yeah, I remember the girl.
She was young Dorothy. That movie is dark, bro.
Okay, I never saw that one.
That movie's dark. If you saw that as a kid, that'd probably mess you up.
Oh man,
it's like a dark, serious take.
Wow.
On Wizard of Oz. All right.
Yeah.
The last question. This is the hardest one of all, and it's almost it's pretty much always impossible to answer. But I think I know where your answer is going to be.
I think I know where you're going.
Okay.
Let me see if I guess. No, let me see if I.
If you were on a desert island.
Oh no! I thought it was something else. Okay, keep going.
And you only could watch Candyman. No, I'm just kidding. You're on a desert island, okay, and you only could choose the library from 2 studios. You can only choose one of the 2. Shaw Brothers or Golden Harvest.
Golden Harvest all the way.
Yep, I knew it. I knew immediately it was going to be Golden Harvest.
Golden Harvest all the way. And we do know that Shaw Brothers had, in a fashion sense, better quality.
Right.
But, I mean, I think the talent in Golden Harvest was...
Sorry.
Whoops.
Sorry, man.
I think the talent in Golden Harvest was unbeatable. And through the 80s, and I'm not even mentioning Bruce Lee's movies, but through the 80s, it was like they couldn't lose. I mean, everything was like, First Mission was like Rain Man for Hong Kong. Rambo, Eastern Condors was like the Hong
Hmm.
Kong Rambo.
Yeah.
Shanghai Express was like I don't know, Dances with Wolves or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it
Yeah.
was like, man, it's like the variety in that is much greater, and I think the talent. I mean, I do love Chen Guantai, Alexander Fusheng.
Locke Leong,
I do love Lau Young. I mean,
Gordon
wow. I mean,
Liu,
Gordon Liu. I mean,
the
that
Venoms.
movie. Yeah, Heroes of the
Yeah.
East to me is one of the best movies ever.
Dude.
But still, I mean, Golden Harvest to me wins the prize.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue against that. You know, it's funny because like when I think, I kind of break it down like this. When I think traditional kung fu period piece movie, I think of Shaw Brothers. And then when I think of
Yeah.
like modern day martial
Hmm.
arts and action, I think of Golden Harvest. That's how I kind of, both great
Yeah.
at what they do, you know. Just
Yeah.
too many
They're more.
classics.
Yeah, they're more dated in a sense.
A little bit. Well, they were out
But
first.
But if you go, yeah, but if you go kung fu, traditional kung fu, to actually see more weapons, more forms, more kung fu styles. I mean, if you go for martial arts
Yeah,
specifically, not just acrobatics and
right.
flair. If you go for martial arts, I mean, there's no beating Lao Garlian. There's no beating him.
Like Rick Myers always says, he's the greatest kung fu movie maker.
Yeah,
Can't argue. It's hard to argue against
I
that.
mean, he
You
could do
know.
anything. He could
Yeah.
do. I mean, from a crippled, drunken monkey to right?
And my favorite by default, it's an impossible question, but by default, if you ask me right now, go, what's your favorite martial arts movie? It's Eight Diagram Pole Fighter, man.
Oh, really? Okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is that end finale fight, that end finale climax. You will
Hmm.
never see anything like that ever again. It's just I can't even break it down because so much shit's happening in that
Yeah.
end finale fight. It's phenomenal, man. You got to take a breath after that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that, like I said, that's by default. That could change. My pick could change when I get some time to go through my lists.
No, it's an
But
amazing movie. I also like. There's also a couple of movies that people, I mean, nerds like us do mention, but for example, there's one movie, and I would love to have some sort of database to see where these guys are now. There was this one guy who was from the Beijing Opera School as well, called Meng. I'm butchering his name. My Cantonese sucks. Meng Yuan Men.
okay.
He did this movie called Daggers 8 and Hell's Wind Staff. The
Oh,
guy
Hell's
was
Wind
an
Staff.
yeah. The guy was an amazing acrobat. I have no idea where he is right now. I have no idea if he's still alive or something. But Daggers 8 to me is one of the best movies ever. I don't know if it's just because I was in a right place at the right time to watch that and it got close to my heart or something. Like if I have a tendency to like that sort of movie. But it's a movie where the guy goes and learns three different styles with three masters. It's such a great movie. It's such a great movie.
Daggers 8. Is it
Daggers
Shaw
8.
Brothers or is it just
No, it's
okay?
actually
Okay.
probably Seasonal Film Corporation. No, not. I'm not even sure if it's one of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta be
I'm gonna
honest. I don't
watch
know.
it now. If you recommend it, I'm gonna definitely
Daggers
watch it.
8. You gotta watch that
Daggers
movie. I
8.
think you're really gonna like this character. The guy's got charisma. He's like funny. He's
Yeah.
like a little bit like Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
but better acrobat, more like a Yun Bio in terms of acrobat.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I really love that movie.
All right. Daggers 8. I'm gonna Samurai guy gonna look it up. I'm gonna do a review.
Yeah,
Invi-
please do. Please do.
yeah. Or invite you back on the show. We'll review it together, man. We'll talk about it
Let's
here.
go. Let's
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. But man, I could talk to you about martial arts movies all day. That's right. One of us. You're one of us, my friend.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't want to keep you too much because I know you're extremely busy and
no,
I
it's
know it's
okay, man.
really late where you're
It's
at.
I was wondering one thing. It's like, is there any action star that you have no clue where he is, or he or she, and does it drive you crazy? Like, for example, that Mangyan Men guy
Yeah.
is a guy that really drives me crazy. That I don't know where he is, and I don't know who to ask or where to find. Does it happen to you as well, or not so much?
Well, I was actually trying to get a hold of David Bradley, and that guy's like off the grid, dude. Like that guy doesn't exist.
You want to know the
I think
saddest
people thought he
story?
was dead, but he's not. He's not, he's
No, no, no,
just
he's not.
yeah,
Because I did a copycat for American Ninja 5,
yeah. That was
and
great.
I put it on Facebook, and the guy actually responded and said something funny about the copycat. Thank you. Now I know where the keys are, or something like that, because I
Okay,
steal his keys and stuff like that.
yeah,
But then I started trying to chat with him and try to get him in the podcast, and he didn't answer at all. So he just did that one comment because he found the video amusing, but then he didn't say anything at all.
right.
I actually saw him on Facebook talking to, or commenting to a cousin of his or something,
Yeah.
giving his email, and I was like, I got his email, and I sent him an email, and nothing came back.
Yeah.
But you want to know a really sad story that actually kept me up all night tonight. There's this one kid that I used to love when I was younger, called Ted Jen Roberts. You know who he is?
Who's that?
Magic Kid. You remember the Magic Kid?
Oh, Donna Dragon Wilson? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly. You
yeah,
remember the kid?
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's been a struggle, but I really would love to have that guy on, because nobody knows where he is. And when I mean nobody, even directors from his movies, because he went on to do The Power Within, Tiger Heart. He was the masked rider on a TV show, and he did the Magic Kids. And
Yeah.
he's close to my age. He's like 4 or 5 years older than me. But when I was growing up, I was like, oh, I want to be like that guy, because he was about my age. So I
Yeah.
really had his movies like close to my heart or something. So he was one of those guys that I really, really, really wanted to go after.
Right.
And
Can't find them, huh?
I can't find him. And in my podcast with Art Camacho, who was the fight
Yeah.
coordinator, and he was the director for The Power
Oh yeah, I
Within.
was gonna reach out to him at some point in the future.
I
But
love the guy. I love the guy. He's a great guest. And I asked him, you know where Ted is? And he was like, fell off the face of the earth. I have no idea where he went.
wow.
And then I put that little clip in my YouTube, and I put it on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And it stayed there for as long as possible.
Yeah.
There was this one kid a while ago who talked to me, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm his friend. If you want, I can try to get him." And I was like, "Oh, please send him a message. I would love to see how he is now." And
Yeah.
he sent him a message, and the guy, the Ted Jen Roberts, replied back and said, "Oh, I'm not in the right mood right now. Sorry, but tell him no." And I was like, "Is he depressed or something?" Whatever. Months go along, and
Yeah.
yesterday, a 60-ish-year-old lady goes on Facebook and comments on my video with Art Camacho, asking, where is the Ninja Boy? Where is
Yeah.
the Magic Kid? Where's
Yeah,
TJ Roberts? She goes and she says, like, TJ died on the 6th of June of this month, on the 6th of June of 2022. And then she put like an emoji, and I was like, oh man, it stung me so hard. I was like, I never even met the guy. Why am I feeling this? So
Yeah.
I went to his buddy. And I was like, the kid that said he was his buddy. I was like, have you been talking with TJ Roberts? Is it true that he died? And it was like, what? No, I don't think so. And it was like, no, this woman came on my Facebook and told me that he died. And it was like, whoa, really? Let me text him. He texted him, nothing. We tried calling him, nothing. It was like, wow, that explains it, because I had been messaging him, and the last times we spoke, like 1 month ago, he's really, really depressed, like having serious depression issues. And I was like, oh man.
Oh man.
So this comes to show that, and then he started saying that he had a lot of run-ins, like when he was younger, because they were grooming him to be the actual best, actor ever for martial arts.
Yeah.
He was having karate practice, gymnastics practice. He was having acting classes every day. So they were trying to groom him. But then along the way, the kid lost his childhood. The kid lost his teenage years. So he probably did not go as far as people thought he would go. The guy, the producer from Masked Rider, I guess, screwed him up on money issues and stuff. He had a bad relationship with his parents. That's what the kid told me. And I was like, oh, man, you know what? This is not cool. I mean, first of all, there's not even a news saying that this guy might have killed himself on the 6th, on the 6th of this month.
Yeah.
There's only this there's only this lady coming on my Facebook. Nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever does anything. I mean, why screw these kids like this? I mean, if anything, we have to look after each other on this industry to actually make a difference. I mean, the kid, in a way, he changed my life. He was important to me because I saw his movies and I wanted to be like him. And then all of a sudden, he gets forgotten. His parents are like trying to, I don't know, but I'm second guessing, but it's like,
Yeah.
they screw him up. The kid doesn't have a future. And then he ends up what? If it's true, if my guess is true, he might have killed himself this month. It's like, wow, this really stung me, man. I couldn't even
Oh
sleep
man.
thinking about it. I was like dreaming the whole way, having nightmares with this shit. It was like, fuck, man.
Wow.
What's
Man,
happening in
that
this fucking
sucks.
industry,
Yeah, that sucks, man. On
That's what.
another depressing
No, I
another,
know. It's just that sometimes I wanted to get this message across that it's like,
yeah.
guys like we all know that Van Damme had his problems and guys like that,
Hmm.
guys who put everything into what they do in the industry. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. I mean, it's like you want to be great, you want to be one of the greats, you want to mingle with the best, but then it's like it's always about money, it's always about bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're martial artists first, and then we have to be actors, and then we have to be, united, and there
Right.
should be some kind of support line for this. I
It
actually
should.
felt like
It should. Yeah.
I felt like I wanted to hug the guy and say, "Man, you're not alone. Come on, man. Come on. We're
Yeah.
all in the same
Yeah.
boat." You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
why did because he was an amazing martial artist. Like at 12 he was a black belt, so it was like an amazing martial artist. So
Man.
something must have derived
Yeah.
him off his ways into becoming like they fucked him up. It's so stupid.
Oh
It's like
man.
life's short, man. It really
Yeah.
stung me. I'm sorry for
Oh no, no, it's
doing
fine.
this or
We're
outing
talking.
it, but
No, no,
it's
no. I didn't.
so
I'm glad. I'm actually glad you told me because I didn't know. I didn't know he
yeah,
passed
not
away.
even in news, not even Google, not even anything. Like I don't know.
A buddy
Nobody
of
knows where the
mine,
guy is.
a buddy of mine, Magic Kid's his favorite martial arts movie,
Oh, really?
and he doesn't even know. So unfortunately, I have to let him know. But that's like his favorite movie. But man, no, I'm no. It's sad. It's very sad. But I'm still glad. Rest in peace, man. We can honor
Yeah,
him
man.
now. We can
Let's
honor him
let's.
now
I
with
mean,
our platforms. We can honor him.
I mean, I want to do something great for this guy. If it's even if it's
Yeah.
not true, I mean, this guy deserved it. It's like fuck. It's like
Yeah.
when it's guys like, from what I gather, first of all, it might be a rumor. I have no idea. I have no
Oh,
idea
okay.
if this lady is correct. Okay, so I have
Okay.
no
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
I
All right.
actually tried speaking to this lady. I sent her a message and she hasn't replied since. So I have no idea. But why would a 60-year-old woman come on Facebook and tell me this with this
Yeah.
degree of exactitude, like 6th of June of 2020? I mean, it's like it probably is true. So let's say it's
Right.
true. Um, but I believe that I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I was going to say that
You're saying basically even if it's not true, and
yeah,
you were
even if
going.
it's not true, but then I was going to mention something else. I was going to say that um, it does matter to us, and yes, let's use our platforms to at
Sure.
least make sure they get dignified and honorable respects. Oh, I know what I was about to say. For
Okay.
example, from what I gather, guys like David Bradley probably stepped out of the industry, because
Hmm.
they were like, I think he's a musician as well. He probably likes music. He
As
probably
yeah.
knew where this was going. It was like, fuck this. I want to.
As long as he's happy, man.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I
that
mean, that's all
I
that
can
matters.
totally agree with that. But
Yeah.
when it's something like you're into your 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, always trying to make it,
Yeah.
and if all of your highlights are from when you were from 13 to 18 or something,
Hmm.
that's really, we should take care of our people's mental health in that department, because it's really to take advantage of of someone because of the money, that really screws me up.
Right.
And
No, no, no. This is a good message, man. It's
and the,
sad, but I'm glad you're talking about it because it's
and
mental health is important.
when I interviewed Rick Baker, he said something which stuck with me as well. When he interviewed the guy Huang Yinsik, from the Young Master,
Yeah,
from
yeah. Oh yeah, that dude's badass. Yeah.
Way of the Dragon and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he asked him like, it looked like you might have had an amazing career. What made you? I mean, did you want to step out of the movies? Because after a while, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
he was done. And the guy was like, no, no, no. I saw the poisonous environment in the industry,
Hmm.
and he said something like, I want to teach classes. I want to have the same wife. I don't want to have 30,000 mistresses. I don't want to do drugs. I don't want
Yeah.
to even have late nights. I want to be a healthy guy. I'm a martial artist. I want to do a movie every once in a while, but I don't want to be sucked into that whole vortex of fame. And
Right.
he also said that if Bruce Lee was not an actor, or if Bruce Lee was not so much in love with being an actor,
Hmm.
he might have still be alive. And I was like, okay,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean,
Hmm.
we all know that he was kind of going a little bit paranoid with his image to the public, with the script writing, with the fight coordinations. It's
Yeah.
a stressful job.
Well, he
And
was literally towards the end. He was doing everything:
yeah,
writing,
yeah, yeah,
directing, fight choreography. This. He was
yeah.
like doing everything. So
So
you know.
probably that whole fame spectrum, the guys he was hanging out with, the
Hmm.
whole industry aspect. I mean, probably that screwed him up in the long run. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
you just can't find that inner self that was, I'm a martial artist first and then I'm an actor. And probably he went the other way around. And sometimes that, we all know how um, the people from the industry, mainly actors, sometimes are very depressive or bipolar or something like that
Yeah.
because of all the shit they have to go through in Hollywood.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. Well, Rick
Sorry
Myers
for
said it.
ranting.
Rick Myers said it last night. We had a stream last night, and he said something similar. I'm paraphrasing, but he said that the filmmaking industry is full of people, full of tons of talented people, but 80% of them are going to stab you in the back or try to. So there you go. There you go.
If Rick Myers says that, I believe it because that guy knows everything.
That guy, Rick has been. You just throw him a random movie or random something. Rick will be like, "Oh, I was there, and I have the photos, and I wrote the book on it." Like that guy's been everywhere, man. You got to love that guy.
Wow.
But no, man, don't worry
Such
about it.
knowledge.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
worry about it's sad if it's true. Uh,
Yeah.
but but we don't want to see anything like this happen to anyone else that's in the industry that's actually
Yeah.
a good person and actually works really hard. You know what I mean? So
That's
you
why I
know,
love these that's why I love these not only these conversations but these platforms that we have that make people, you know, it's important for me to let them know we
hmm
love them. We love them. we
yes,
grew up we grew up with our movies. They shaped us, man. I
yeah,
mean, I'm an only child, so my friends were the movies. So I would watch like 10 times in a row a movie if I liked it, like a
hmm
child does.
yeah,
So it's like these guys are very, very important to me. And my girlfriend was like, why are you letting the suicide of a guy you never met from the other side of the globe ruin your day? And I was like, you don't understand. Sorry, but
yeah.
it's like I grew up with these guys. I feel like crying because it's like I know him. It's like, well, whatever. You know what I mean?
It's almost like their family because they've always been there on you.
Yeah,
They've
man.
been with you. You know,
Man.
even if you never met them, they've been
Yeah.
with you on your TVs growing up. But look at this, man. I mean, look at that. Inspiration, baby. I love the Jackie on the wall,
with
bro. What
with
now?
Jackie
Now, what,
Chan, yeah.
now was that a poster? What from a magazine or what is
That
that?
was like a photocopy. I stole it from the internet or something. No, internet? I'm not sure we had internet
I
back then.
don't know
No,
if he
it's
had
probably,
internet.
I think it was a photocopy, a
Okay,
Xerox machine, like
okay,
maybe
okay.
from a magazine. I used to have a lot of,
Yeah,
I do have a huge collection of magazines from even the 70s and the 80s, even though I was born
yeah,
in 84. I do have, I did buy a lot of magazines from the 70s and 60s and whatnot.
yeah.
So it was probably um,
A copy, Xerox
a
copy.
copy from that's probably Young
Yeah,
Master
yeah.
or something, right?
But
Yeah.
this photo right here, another reason why I'm showing it again is a perfect example of how these guys inspire.
Yeah.
inspire. And Bruce, now you're inspiring people. You're helping
Oh,
people lose weight, getting fit. You're bringing other people to your channel that loves martial arts. And that's important. That's what these
yeah.
platforms are for. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
glad you were here today to hang out with Samurai Guy. We cried, we laughed.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And I always use my platform to show respect. When I've had a lot of stuntmen and martial artists and people in the, in the industry, big or small, I kind of treat them the same way. But it's respect, for what they do. And we here, Movie Dojo Army and myself, we respect what you do, my friend. That's why you're here on the
Oh
channel.
man.
I had to reach out, I had to throw the Hail Mary and say, hopefully you can show up and chit chat with Samurai Guy, talk movies,
Man,
you know.
I
So this
loved
was a
it.
blast, my friend.
I loved it. And thank you so much for the homework you did, because you had everything segmented in the most perfect of ways.
I appreciate
You
it.
put a lot of my best stuff on. So, I mean, thank you so much for doing the. Thanks so much for thinking that I'm worthy enough of you going through that whole footage and pictures. So thank you so much, man. This is really honorable.
Well, thank you for being here. You got Woo Bear says, yes, Bruce, keep up the great content, buddy. That's
Thank you,
right.
guys, and you
That's
can count
right.
on me not only to do what Fat Samurai Guy is doing, which is you know paying respects and honoring these people that we love, but also one of the things that I figured, there's a great niche to be built on, because there's not a lot of info in that area, which is martial artists overall. I mean, not all, obviously, but most martial artists have no clue what to do in the gym. So a little bit of strength and conditioning drills and workouts and how to program. So that's something that I want to keep doing in my channels, in my platforms, to help people get better, like more powerful, more faster, to have more speed in their kicks and their punches. So that's one thing that I'm actually very, very much invested in, to get a little bit of the science behind strength and conditioning, the way they do for American football and stuff like that, to the martial arts. So I believe I have quite a few nice things to share that I've learned along the way and that helped me a lot. So I think that should be one of my main goals for the future.
Awesome. Awesome. One more thing. One more. Any shout outs or any last words to your fans and followers?
Guys, thank you so much for being on that side. I want you all to come to Portugal one day, now that the confinement is freaking over, because it's over. Not, let's get done with for good with not mingling, not being with each other. Let's go to restaurants. Let's have some fun. Grab a couple of beers. Let's be fucking human, like we haven't been in the last 2 years. And more than ever, getting a little bit of that segue that we were talking about, TJ Roberts, more than ever, people are getting depressed. Suicide rates are fucking way up. And I don't want that for anybody. And I want everybody to be healthy, happy, to make sure that they're learning for the sake of learning, for the pleasure of learning. I want people to be with each other, to tell the right things at the right time, to look in the eye, to get rid of the fucking masks, and figuratively speaking, every once in a while, if you have to wear a mask, wear a mask. But you know what I mean. Symbolically, let's take out the fucking mask, and let's be human again. Let's be human again.
I like that. I like that. Let's be human again. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all know what you need to do, everybody watching right now. And after the stream, thanks again for hanging out and watching. Y'all know what you need to do. You need to go to the description box below of this video and subscribe to Bruce on the YouTube is. That's right. Follow him on the Instagram is. Lots of fun and educational content. Hilarious, just really entertaining. You want to follow this guy. This is the guy. And we're gonna have you back here again, man. Make this your second home, my friend.
Let's go, man. Whenever
Yeah,
you're ready.
man. Yeah, yeah.
Whenever you want me.
Yeah. So thanks again, my friend. All right, Bruce, you are the legend. Don't go anywhere, Bruce. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.